action.
What's up, guys? We'll be going full throttle here in about 60 seconds. Technical difficulties follow me like a mosquito in the summer, so we'll be up in just a second. Until then, you can just stare at us very awkwardly as we. I'm sure Dusty has something.
No, I think we always kind of go like, what's some highs and lows. I think this week, I think a high for us is I think we're on, like, my family, we're technically on like day 31 of quarantine, and so now you've hit day 31. I think that there is a real thing called quarantine shopping, where you are literally just buying stupid stuff. Like, my wife came out today and was like, are you working? And she's like, yeah, I'm working. I was like, what's that on your phone? And she's like, nothing. And she like had Amazon open. I'm like, babe, close Amazon. And then she says, she comes into me and she said, I saw something on someone's Facebook page. I said, okay. She bought the kids like a Jupiter jump, like an indoor jump. And so I'm like, this is what it took on day 30 of quarantine. Like,
broke. Everyone's broke.
You're doing it. Hey, the stimulus check came in and she was like, well, let's do it. And so, I mean, it has been a great thing for us. 2 toddlers, now they can, like, it fits in our living room.
You deserve that.
Yeah, I mean,
you guys deserve.
It was on.
Like
it was on sale. It was on.
It's on a big jump for you and Lisa.
Right now. Yeah, I was like, we were like, hey, with the one from the church fit in our living room. We're like, no. But if you're a parent with toddlers and you're watching this, Sam's is running a sale on it. And my wife went up there, and then she said there's a whole bunch of them still left. It's like,
if you're a parent of toddlers right now, God bless you.
Yes.
You are doing amazing work.
Yes. Call, you can message me. We can have our own community group because we need support. That is a real thing. It is a real thing.
I will say this on the shopping. Like, I've looked for a couple things for the church, and there is zero. I mean, and I don't know. Maybe it's the item I'm looking for. There's no instant gratification. Like, it's May 20th delivery day.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's certain items, but I'm like.
Well, I saw that on. I saw that as a meme. I don't know if we probably won't have this one, but it said it was someone like looking really angry at a computer and was like, "What do you mean Amazon Prime? It's not going to be here tomorrow. Thanks a lot, Rona."
No, I like get the Prime delivery and I get to the when it's delivered. I'm like, May 20th.
We're all paying extra for Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Now we're just like the basics. The basics
exactly.
No, so I would say that's probably a high for us is being able to have our kids fully engaged in something. Now, the only issue is like they can't just play normal. It's like it's got to be WWE, SmackDown in there. Like they just got to jump off the top slide on top of each other's heads, and I'm like, guys, like why? Like just chill. Like just chill, and it's just no, they can't do it. They gotta like bounce off the ropes, and so it's been pretty wild. Also, in other news, yesterday I was outside with the kids, and my wife came outside to show me a video and asked me a question. I guess somehow at that point the kids went back inside and locked us outside. That might sound normal, but the problem with that is we have 2 high, like extreme heavy duty childproof locks over our deadbolts. So what happened was it had already latched. So it's like the crane game. You have to squeeze it to grab the lock, and then you have to turn it to open it.
Wow.
Well, it had already grabbed it, and they turned it and locked it. But then it unlatched, and now they didn't have the hand strength to clasp it again. And so my wife's kind of having a nervous breakdown. I'm laughing this thing up and go Instagram Live. And so I'm making this like huge parent joke, like parent fail. We're outside, my mom or my dad's bringing me the extra key because none of us have a key, none of the windows can open. And I hear the kids in the garage. And Lisa starts like, there's poison in there, there's tools, there's like shears, like, all this stuff's going through her head. And she says, and I go, hey, I said, come knock on the garage. So I knock on the garage, and so I know they're right there. I said, go into mommy's car and push the button. I have no idea if they'll figure it out. I hear my daughter literally say, I'll do it. I hear the door open, open the garage, and she comes running out. I saved you. I'm like, no, you locked us out. So that was a pretty fun time yesterday.
That's funny.
In the life of toddlers, parenting toddlers. So, but yeah,
I put here just throughout this week, and I should have prepped you a little bit for this question.
See, this is
also,
why you tuned in.
This is also live TV.
This is why you tuned in. I have no idea what he's about to say.
No, I was gonna put, because I think like through this all, it's been neat, because I think there have been moments where you're inspired, you're encouraged, like whether it's from someone in close proximity of your life, or virtually. I mean, there's moments throughout this, and I think at any time where seasons are difficult, where you're like, wow, that was neat. That really inspired me, pushed me. So I don't know, has anything done that to you, encouraged, inspired you, whether it's ministry, church, individual, you know?
I think I can go personal, and I also can go some ministry stuff. I think personally, I'm really encouraged by the creativity that I have seen through this process. I mean, through some silly things like putting a jump in your living room, or like the things like the trick shots. Like I watched, she had to be like 86-year-old woman bounce a ping pong ball down down a whole flight of stairs into like a cup, and I was like, I couldn't do that ever. And so like I think that there's just been a lot of the creativity. Shout out to our teachers. The creativity that I've seen them come up with. I know our teachers, our kids' teachers are posting stuff every day, just like visually crafts that they can do that is like engaging their learning still. And so shout out to all the teachers. I saw a really great post that said, now we need to stop saying, if you can't do anything else, you teach, because this is not that moment. I mean, these teachers have learned how to do remote teaching on the fly, and they're doing well, at least what I've seen. And so shout out to any of the teachers that happen to see this. But I think ministry side, the idea that no one's prepared for this, and the idea that you could be in ministry for 25 years. One second. I think it's got to turn it off. You could be in ministry for 25 years, and this is all new, right? In the last one, I have a really, really great friend in ministry who's a youth pastor or a family pastor in this area, and he calls me up and he says, Dusty, I have no idea how to use Zoom. and he goes, can you help me? And it was so cool when he was like, teach this old dog a new trick. And I said, the truth is, we're all the same dogs. No one has any more experience than any of us in this stage of the game. And so it was really cool to be able to walk him through some of that stuff.
Want to do the Nintendo trick?
Yeah, the classic Nintendo trick.
Yeah, keep going.
So anyway, I think it was ministry-wise, it's been really cool to see people learn from each other when they might not have had to ask for that help before. Now they're asking for that help. I just got off a meeting right before this. This is why we're a little bit late. Normally, I'm always the one coming in super early, but I had a meeting right before this, and it was really great because we have a group of churches in the area that are going to put on like a 2-week event basically for kids. 7 churches are going to come together and do one massive Zoom youth group. I mean, they're bringing in live worship, speakers, and like it's going to be a mini conference on Zoom for students. And that doesn't happen without the creativity and the unity of having to come together in this time. And so I think I've been really inspired by the creativity and the unity I've seen come out of this.
That's good. I put, a couple things for me. One, like I feel a lot of whether it be educators. I mean, I think of today, like at 3:30, I know my son's teachers, like they're doing a parade for all the kids in different neighborhoods all over the district. Yeah. I'm like, That's awesome. I mean, like that is just inspiring, encouraging that people are like going to a lot of different lengths to connect and just really just express love and concern for people. You know, I've got a buddy in Ventura, and they're doing they're raising money. They're raising $10,000 for really to take gift cards and care packages to nurses, frontline people in hospitals, fire departments, police, and it's all based on, you know, one guy has a beard and it's like shave the beard or grow a beard. My other buddy, who I'm not even sure if he tried to grow a beard, could grow a beard, but it's like, you know, it's fun. But it's engaging people. People are giving. It's kind of like, you know, encouraging, inspiring to be able to see that, and then to see the cause that it's going to as well. I mean, just recently, you know, had a conversation with someone who within our church body that's donating their stimulus check to. There's like, hey, use it to bless people, take care of people. I mean, you know, there's stuff like that are just really powerful moments in the midst of, you know, you turn on the news and it's just like, ugh.
Absolutely.
You know, and so no, it's been good this week, and I'm not, for some reason I cannot get this stuff to work. It never works when I need it to.
Well, we have some people watching. So thank you, Mike Hickerson, for enjoying my stickers. Yes. Hey, Dad, Lois, I'm glad that you're here. Yes, my sticker game is very strong. I have some extra ones if you're also a sticker person, connoisseur. I think my favorite one right here is the one that it looks like a green X. It says, if you can't read it, it says senior pastor material. And that's not me. So I made sure I stuck that one on there. So yeah.
No, I actually had a birthday this week.
Yes, you did.
For April 14th. A couple fun facts about my birthday. Same day, Abraham Lincoln got shot. That's good. Also, the same day the Titanic sunk. So it's a very inspiring birthday. Yeah. Disasters, and then I came. But no, one of the things I was going to mention, I had a picture of, and obviously at some point I'm able to share with you guys. But some of my neighbors and my kids did a birthday parade for me. Had me come out. It was really awesome. Really funny, and even had one of the neighborhood dogs with them.
There we go.
It was.
Is it a stray dog or is it?
No, it's not a stray dog.
Just a random dog.
Yeah.
It jumps in the parade.
They throw it on a leash. And just No. So
that's awesome.
But no, we'll go ahead. We'll try to get some of this worked out. And again, just want to say thank you guys for joining us and enduring some of our technical issues today. Again, for us, these moments are kind of neat because this is really the only interaction we're getting, and then to be able to get this with each other is special to us. So thanks for chiming in, and please talk to us. Let us know you're here. We'll be doing some different stuff to ask for input, thoughts, prayer requests, things of that nature. Please participate. Let's go ahead and shift, Dusty. Maybe kind of roll into the Devo, and then we can kind of. I'm sure everyone tuned in for the Little Debbie's Final Four.
I know.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
We'll get the people what they want.
Hang on. It'll come later. And Dusty and Jeff's favorite memes will come later.
They will be there. I promise.
So we'll kind of shift and do the Devo. So I'll throw it to you.
Yeah. So if you're following along, last week we started kind of just James 1 through 8. We kind of just walking through the text of James. It's highly relevant, I think, for right now. I mean, if you know James at all, we had said like a lot of people don't get through James because they know what happens in James 1. And so James 1 through 8 was just that idea of counting it a joy to struggle, right? And then also asking for wisdom. And so what we see in verses 9, we're going to go, we're reading a couple more verses in verse 9, and I have a couple of things that I feel like God spoke to me through this, and so I'll read them to you. It says, verse 9, James 1:9 says, "Believers who are poor have something to boast about, for God has honored them. And those who are rich should boast that God has humbled them. They will fade away like the little flower in the field, and the hot sun that rises and the grass withers, and the little flower droops and falls, and its beauty fades away. And in the same way, the rich will fade away in all of their achievements. And so I think that when I was reading this text and I was studying through it, just some of the things that I really saw was something like the main points I saw was poor or rich. You just need to check your account. And I think that account isn't something of the world. I think that an account that we need to check is our humility. Where are we? You know, some of us have been blessed greatly financially through jobs and just through whatever, you know, stocks, I don't know, but we've been blessed through that. And some of us, maybe we would say when it comes to financial status, would say, well, I'm not as blessed as them. But it doesn't really matter when we all can come on the same playing field when it comes to humility. And so I think that regardless, poor or rich, this is something I read in this is going, we just really need to check our account on where our humility lies. I don't know, what do you hear?
No, I mean, I think I really kind of see the gift of humility given in different ways. You know, is that those that on the physical maybe are enduring some sort of financial poverty or whatever that looks like, they're experiencing humility, but they're also have the opportunity to experience God's grace. And the same way for those that have much, it will fade away. I mean, we read throughout the scripture that our riches are fleeting. You know, they'll sprout wings and fly away like an eagle. So it's like, you know, all these are temporary, but there is a gift in the midst of it. And I would say even now, where a lot of us are evaluating, you know, where we're at financially, what we have, what we don't have, is that there is this gift of humility to be humbled. And with that comes the gift of grace that God attaches to that if we see it, if we grab onto it. And so I love that. I mean, I think it's like the same landing place, but again, we have to choose that.
Right.
Whether it's poverty or riches, to be honest. I mean, you can totally stiff arm the gift of grace that comes through humility, or you can embrace it. But I love that. I mean, I think it also speaks to me like the things that are unchanging,
right,
and the things that change, and our bank accounts, our circumstance, our even securities, as we would see it, is ever changing, right, honestly. But I think it's Isaiah 48 where the grass withers and the flower fades, but the word of the Lord endures forever. Is that there are these unchanging things, right? But no, I love it. It's good.
Yes. So then it continues into verse 12. Verse 12 says, again, if you're just joining us, it's James 1:12-15 that we're on right now. And it says, God blesses those who patiently endure testing and temptation. Afterward, they will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love him. And remember, when you're being tempted, do not say, God is tempting me. God is never tempted to do wrong, and he never tempts anyone else. Temptation comes from our own desires, which entice us and drag us away. These desires give birth to sinful actions, and when sin is allowed to grow, it gives birth to death. Now, I think that it's this text to me starts off like really kind of uplifting, like a really like motivational, and then it's like, oh, this is getting really heavy at the end. But I think the three things that I really noticed in this text are, one, endurance brings the crown. I think that if you ever think of an athlete, nobody is winning the crown or winning the gold medal without some level of endurance, whether that's strength training or something that they put in the path. They've endured for that time to win. And so I've always seen endurance brings the crown. The second thing I've seen, we got to stop, do not blame God for your temptation. That we, I think, kind of put our own, we got to get our own self in trouble. I think it's also very interesting that James doesn't immediately blame the devil for our temptation. That he almost basically says our own, we do this to ourselves. We get ourselves into a lot of trouble as well, or just in our flesh, our own flesh. And then the last thing I saw was desires, our desires that we have lead to deeds. And so desires leading to deeds, the desire may not be the problem. It's the deeds that come from those desires that become the problem, which you see at the very end where it talks about sin, that if it's allowed to grow, which to me gives this kind of like figurative analogy of like a plant. If you're allowing weeds, if you're allowing them to grow, like my front yard, because I just don't get out there and mow it. Like if you they're there because you allow them to be there, and if you're allowing them to grow, they're gonna kill the nice flowers that you would hope would be there, right? So it's like they're gonna grow and kill. So I don't know. What do you see?
Well, I mean, I think what just piggybacking on the desire deal is that the desire, which is invisible,
right? Yeah,
really leads to the deed that is visible.
That's really.
And most of the time,
desires in private, the deeds usually can be.
And so we see the actions, we see the carnage of our decisions and actions, behavior. But it didn't start there.
Yeah.
It started private. It started with our desires, our thinking, our minds, which again, I think many times, I mean, me included, we minimize our thinking, our desires, because it hasn't actualized yet,
right.
But it will lead there. Yeah. I mean, that is the inevitable destination for our desires, is to deeds, is to destruction. And I think that's good. I love that. I feel for me, I see the blessing of God to those who endure, the testing. I think there's two things, the testing and the temptation. And I would say right now we're in a season of testing. Regardless of what we're facing personally, culturally, even globally, we're in this place of persevering and going through this weird season and unknowns, uncertainty, and then it's kind of like God saying, hey, endure, persevere in my power for the sake of my glory during this, and you'll get a crown. And so we have the testing, we also have the temptation, is how do we respond to temptation when it comes our way. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And we look at Jesus when he was tempted. 40 days without food. He was fasting and getting Satan coming.
I go an hour and we have an issue.
Man, I need Mike and Ike's after like 3 hours. And so how do we respond when temptation comes? And if we respond well, if we patiently endure, there is this crown, there is this reward. And for me, I don't know. It's not. I feel that should encourage us and maybe compel us to fight a little harder and to persevere a little deeper. I think through this, this whole thing we're dealing with, it gives a follower of Jesus and the church to really show what we're made of and to show who we are.
That's really good.
I've said this before, like if you've got an orange and I say, Dusty, what comes out of the orange when you squeeze it?
Yeah.
The simple answer is whatever is inside of it, right? And so I think right now as followers of Jesus and the church, we're getting squeezed. So what's in us? And whatever's in us will come out. And again, that's a blessing. Even the tough stuff that comes out, honestly, we're able to see it, deal with it, work through it. So
And so then I think that the last piece of this finishes 16 through 18. So don't be misled, my dear brothers and sisters. Whatever is good and perfect is a gift coming to us from God, our Father, who created all the lights in the heavens. He never changes or casts a shifting shadow. Verse 18, he chooses to give birth to us by giving us his true word, and we, out of all creation, become his prized possessions. I think the simple thing in this is it starts off by saying, do not be misled. And I think that this idea of how great is it that we have the opportunity to be led by the creator, right? Who created all the lights in the heavens, and he never changes, right? This is the person, this is the being that we get to be led by, and then he finishes by saying we get to be the prized possession, right? And I don't know, I think that out of all the heaviness that we just heard, out of all the heaviness we just heard, all of a sudden we get to now be called his prized possession, which I think you've talked about just a second ago, is like even through trial, right? Through struggles, through whatever we're being squeezed. There's like, I mean, when you get an orange and you squeeze it, you get really great orange juice. You know what I mean? Like, and so, I mean, and if you're a pulp guy like me, you get the extra pulp. And so I think that there's just, I think this idea that through it, the endurance bringing the crown, this idea of going through this time is going to bring us something out on the other side, and that I think we can be looked even brighter to him as a prized possession through this time.
Yeah, I think, you know, I just love verse 17. Whatever is good and perfect is a gift coming down to us from God our Father. I mean, whatever that gift looks like right now, you know, I think for us not to misidentify or mistake, maybe is the word, mistake who it's coming from.
Yeah. Whether
it's a teacher's parade or a gift given, I mean, or even a FaceTime call or I mean, is that, listen, God is giving good gifts. He gives good gifts to his kids, and like, don't mistake it from someone else when it is God who provides your daily bread.
A step further is, I mean, this is going to be more me reading, airing out my mail. Like, don't misjudge a blessing for a burden.
Yeah.
The blessing is I get to sit with my kids.
Yeah.
I get to watch them enjoy a jump, and I get to, I get extra time with my kids. Now, I will be completely transparent. I have not always looked at it as a blessing in every single 31 days. There have been pockets. Yeah. There have been pockets where I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. I will just sit with them and let them just climb all over me. I'll wrestle with them. But then there's times when I'm like, listen, Daddy needs to work. And I have to like lock it down. And in those times, I feel like it become more of a burden. But I think that we can't miss this opportunity to then see what God is trying to bless us with and go, if we almost look at it as a burden. So yeah, that's something
Well, like you to close it up, I mean, you had mentioned, these gifts that he gives us, it's because he gives them to us because we are his prized possession. And whether or not we recognize it is on us. And I was a horribly spoiled child. I remember many times that I didn't get what I wanted. I'd throw fits and I would not recognize the sacrifice, the generosity, the goodness of the giver in the midst of the gift I was given. And I feel like in this, if it's a meal with our family every night that we're sitting at a table now, or if it's the ability to be able to buy takeout to support a community business, whatever that looks like, it is a gift. It's the gift of free nights and no commitments. And my wife would talk like, hey, do you want to go on a walk? Well, what else do we have to do? Because there's not schedules aren't packed.
Blessing that you get to go walk.
Blessing,
the burden is like, walk. You know what I mean? Like exercise. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? The burden, but the blessing is that you have the time to do it.
No, totally.
Yeah.
So, but no, that's don't be misled, man. That's good. That's really good. Well, Dusty, why don't you kind of close this section off and pray for us?
Let me pray, and then I guess we can get to some little Debbie's while you're pulling up that. Lord, I thank you. I thank you so much for your word. Lord, I thank you for this, letting us come together, even through this platform. Lord, I pray that whoever may hear this, Lord, I pray that you speak to us individually, show us exactly what we need from you today, Lord. Lord, you say that you would give us our daily bread. So, Lord, if this is it, if this is what we need to get through today from you, then let it be. So, Lord, I thank you for this time. Lord, I thank you for this opportunity. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So, if you're just now catching up, we're on the final four. We have made it to the final four. Yes, this is the production team. Yes, it's me holding a piece of paper in front of the camera. So, high production budget here at the Crossing. Yeah. So, just to give you some catch up, there we go. It says this right here. We started off with the oatmeal cream pie and zebra cakes. Zebra cakes has made it all the way to the final four as a 4 seed. Honey buns defeated Star Crunch. If that offends you and you're just now joining us, it's okay.
You weren't around.
You weren't around to make the
feedback.
vote.
Yeah,
So it's made it here. It's an upset for sure, 7. But the upset, the what is it called? Cinderella story is these donut sticks. Donut Sticks was an 8 seed and went up against Nutty Bars. And I think the inconsistency of the Nutty Bars is what ended up, like, sometimes you get them and they're super stale and sometimes they're just so crisp. But so Donut Sticks ended up taking it all the way. Fudge Rounds just didn't, like, it wasn't what we were looking for. And now Donut Sticks is in the Final Four, an 8 seed. And now we have the Cosmic Brownies went in there. Swiss Cake Rolls is our highest seed to be making it to the Final Four. So the Final Four is a 2 versus 8 seed, Swiss Rolls and Donut Sticks. And a 4 and 7 seed on the other side of the bracket, Zebra Cakes and Honey Buns. So here we go. This is where, if you showed up for this is what you're here for. If you've just waited for this, go back and watch the other stuff too. But we'll start with Zebra Cakes and Honey Buns.
Honey Buns squeaked by last week. It was tough. We called on you to give us your input. Yes. We spoke. We listened. I don't know, man. I mean, Zebra Cakes is just classic for me. Yeah. It's creamy. It's got the white icing. Yeah.
You know what that I haven't really thought about until just now? The Zebra Cakes have that kind of like, there's so many different textures with a Zebra Cake. You got the crunchy shell on the outside. You got like the cake on the inside, and then you got the cream. It's like 3 different layers of textures. Whereas Honey Buns, it's like it's one texture. It's just.
I mean, it's a sugary coating. I'm not gonna. I mean, it's good. I'll give this illustration to Zebra Cakes. We're kind of cleaning up my son's room, and packing stuff away that he doesn't need. There is a box, empty box, mind you, of Zebra Cakes behind his bookshelf.
Wow.
He was hiding the Zebra Cakes.
He's got a stash already.
Because he did not want people to find them.
There you go. I mean, they're worth hiding.
They're worth hiding. So I don't know if the same could be said of like a pack of Honey Buns being hid behind a bookcase.
Now, we do have some votes coming in. Honey Buns has gotten a vote. That's a shocking. I thought this would have been an easy one. I don't know. I think I'm leaning towards Zebra Cakes. Is there any other honey? Like, we'll let you come in a little bit. We're gonna go to the other side before we make our decision on what goes on to the finals. Okay. Donut Stick Swiss Rolls. Now this one, I feel like it's a little lopsided.
I don't know.
Really? I thought that Swiss Rolls would just come out the gate.
Okay. But I don't know where everyone else is at. I mean, it is for me, but I mean, Swiss Cake Rolls, man, kind of the same thing. Is there's layers, frozen.
Oh, different things.
I mean, there's different, But I've also heard Donut Sticks, dip in coffee.
Yeah, that's what's gotten it to this far for me.
And what's funny is I was on Donut Sticks. It was more of a late night. Like I would eat it late at night in college. Wow. I grabbed some Donut Sticks. Just it made me feel bad every time, but it was good at the moment. So I don't know. I mean, I go Swiss Cake Rolls, but you were on the donut.
I've been on the Donut Sticks team this entire time, but I think I'm finally in this matchup. I'm to the Swiss Rolls. Okay. The Swiss Rolls are just so good. Okay. Now, could I eat a box of both? Sure. Would I feel sick afterwards? 100%. But I just really feel like Swiss rolls are so good. I see Kim says Swiss rolls from Lois. So I feel like I feel good about Swiss rolls moving forward to Swiss rolls. Now, Swiss rolls have now officially been moved into the finals as a 2 seed.
I mean, anyone want to debate that?
I mean, anybody can debate that. Tell you what, some people will usually watch this later. We will wait because it's the Final Four. You have heard our analysts, would you? Our professional analysts, our bracketologist has spoken. We will let the people decide. I will go back before next Thursday and look at all the comments
Let's
Okay.
see. We've got
All the comments I will see, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. We want to circle back.
Circle back.
Do we want to circle back to Honey Buns?
Well, we'll go. You're talking about for the final?
We're gonna let them come in and.
Yeah, by next Thursday, we'll fill them out by the comments. So you still have an opportunity to continue to comment, and we'll go off the comments. You've heard the bracketologist professionals.
Gotcha.
I've had enough of these to know. I feel like I'm a professional.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry about this lower third blue I've got going here. It was not part of it. Here's Dusty and Jeff's favorite memes of the week. I have told many people this, that every day feels like Groundhog Day.
Oh my gosh.
And there are very few things. Thursdays at 2 is one thing that helps me know what day it is. And then, some of the other stuff we do, our meetings on Tuesday. But here's the first Dusty and Jeff's favorite meme. Now that Sundays aren't physically meeting, it even kind of makes, obviously we're having online service, but still it's like, what is happening?
So true.
What is happening? And even with the Zoom calls, because I know you've got you have 3 a week already with ministry stuff. There's so many Zoom calls a night, like it all feels like the same too. Like which day are we? So here's the second one. I'm not a cat person. My mom is. Hi, Mom. And so, but I think for those cat people out there,
this is for you.
This is for you. Oh no! Just a second. I thought I had the media properties.
This face though. This is why I can't be a cat person. It doesn't even have to be the words. This just looks like an animal that's gonna kill me.
It is just
right.
It is angry at me. Okay. What it says is, why are the annoying servants staying in my home all day now?
Oh my God.
And those who have cats, I think, can understand. Like the cats are just like, you do what I say you do when you.
I can't do it.
So here's the other one. Good night. It is not working, and I'm not sure if it's part of the of what's going on here, but.
Oh, dude! If this is what I think it is, what does the top say?
So the top says, just how is posting your own senior photo supposed to make 2020 seniors feel better?
This is a hot take. First off, if you post this senior picture,
man, God love you.
I don't understand.
One, where'd you find it? Because I don't even know where to
You've been holding on to it. This is like, this will be my moment. No, my senior picture out there, Mom, do not post my senior picture. And no, we literally went, I had this long discussion with the youth pastor about this. Like, he was hurt by this. He's like, stop doing this to them. They didn't get to take senior pictures.
Yeah. So anyway, hopefully not all of these are this way, but they may be. So let's see. Yeah, it is a little bit. This one says, I told my wife how thankful I was to have someone I enjoyed being quarantined with. She said, must be nice. I'm sure.
Here's the deal. Regardless, if we can see this piece, you reading it does it just enough to me. I feel all of this.
So here's another one, and you can see the top. Some of you have never had your sibling chase you around the house with a knife when your parents were gone, and it really shows.
I've locked my brother out before. I literally locked him out, called my mom, was like, hey, I'm gonna die.
Hey, you grew up bored and annoyed by family and parent, kids and brothers. We
used to shoot BB guns at each other all the time.
We were the OGs of the quarantine life all along, So anyway, I apologize for technical things. This has been a chore today. Here's a pic. I don't know. This is my birthday pic. Oh, there you go. There's my neighbors. Thank you, Myers. Giving a little bit of a birthday parade for me. Their dog Bess, that was didn't like that collar, was heaving as that collar was around its neck. But
no animals were harmed in the picture.
No mean caption on this either. So, but no. So, got a little bit of church info. We'll land it. We'll be done. We've talked about just kind of some of our community response stuff. You go to the crossing at bcc.com /community response. has some information with Bixby Outreach Center. You know, you can go to bixbyoutreach.org as well if you want to give monetarily or just figure out what their needs are. Food pantries are definitely being overwhelmed and fully pushed to the limits. So if you're looking for a way to be able to help and do something locally, that is a way. We partner with them already as a church. I know there are other food pantries and ways you can help, but I can assure you there are ways to help them during this time. Also, if you're within our church family or maybe connected to somebody directly that is in need, you know, needs somebody to help with this, that, or the other. Maybe it's running errands, groceries, prescriptions, and maybe it's even a need beyond that. On our page, there's a form you can fill out. Fill that out, shoot it to us. We'll respond to that. And so we want to be able to really be able to walk with you through this. And I know as things go longer, things may even get more trying for our people. And we want to be there for you. We want to be there for those in our community. But like we always say, it's hard to help, and it's hard to give practical helps and tangible hope when we don't know about it.
Yeah.
So help us know about it. So again, the crossing of BCC /community response. We're last Sunday for Easter Sunday, we were online 9 and 11, and then Facebook premiered at 1. We're going to continue that schedule. And so if you're an early bird and you're like 11 a.m. feels like dinner time, you can go ahead and jump on at 9.
There you go.
Love to be able to provide that. So 9 and 11 online, and then the 1 o'clock Facebook premiere. Start a new series this Sunday called FaceTime, and just really going to be walking through face-to-face encounters with Jesus. And so I think when all else fails, let's just focus on Jesus and look to Him and see how He interacted with others and how that changes and should change how we interact with Him as well. And so excited about that. Last but not least, and I'll throw you some family ministry stuff. For us, we're looking at doing some online groups in May, beginning of May. So those of you, and we don't know, to be honest, we don't know where we're going to be. I think each day is a little different. We don't know when we're going to be able to gather. But we know, I've talked to many of you that are like, would love to, whether it's more accountability kind of group or Bible study or let's discuss a book or whatever that looks like, would love to be able to do something like that, to be able to connect, even if it's virtually for the time being. And so that stuff, we'll be rolling some stuff out to you concerning that. So be putting that in your mind if that's something you'd be interested in. Be ready for that because we'll be communicating that soon. So tell us about family ministry the rest of the week. What's happening?
Yeah, and to piggyback off that, like, yes, we understand that, everybody, like, I've been texting a lot of people. I know Jeff's been texting a lot of people. I know we both probably got the feedback of, hey, we just miss the people on Sunday, just getting to, like, shake hands and high fives. Remember those were fun, I would, like, my goal was to run around the entire church to see how many people I could high five, I miss high fiving the band, but like my whole thing is we are constantly, regardless how this long goes, Jeff and I are constantly thinking, how can we still create a space of some sort, even if it's Zoom, to connect with us, with each other. Yeah. And so to piggyback on the idea of connecting, if you're wondering, it is Thursday o'clock. It's Thursday o'clock. It's Thursday right now. On Sundays at 7:30, you can come to and join us a parent hangout. That's gonna be on our Facebook page. That link will be there. 7:30. There is no preaching there. This is not a small group. It is a support group of survival. So if you want surviving like 101 of just like I need adult interaction, this is the space for you. Okay, I'm not there to teach anything. I'm there probably to go help me. Yeah. And so I said this I think a couple weeks ago. If you want to hear my wife kind of like poke fun at me, she's revved up, ready to go at 7:30. She's got a full week of ammo. So Sundays at 7:30, you can check that out. Family ministry, we're still meeting on Wednesdays on Zoom. Those are going really well. Having some good feedback. We've been going through a series called Worried. We'll be moving into, I just got off of a call. We're going to have 7 churches in May 6th and May 13th. It's going to be basically a mini conference, and
I would just say on this for anyone really, whether you're part of our church community or not, is I think one of the beauties, which you said is kind of one of the inspiring things is everyone's willing to experiment with things.
Yeah.
And I think, we say here all the time is to date the model, marry the mission, and meaning the mission that we're after to help people find and follow Jesus. We're bam with that, right? But we're dating different forms and models and the mediums that we're using to engage and fulfill that. So like, I love all, whether it's Zoom, whether it's, a lot of creative different ways to connect and engage, and I love it. I think it's pushing all of us, even individually, as you're doing, like you're learning to do stuff you have never done before, and you're like, wow, this is cool.
And I think it's interesting because like now it's kind of we're forced to date new models, right?
Yeah.
Like these were things like that seems interesting, but why would I change this?
Yeah.
Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But like now it's all broke, so we got so it's like
Ain't nothing working.
Ain't nothing working. So anyway,
Yeah.
there's that. I'm putting together a really cool thing. I was talking to Jeff where it's going to be like. I think we're going to call it Pastors Join the Party. Mm-hmm. And basically me and another youth pastor from California are going to play Fortnite and stream that with students and just and basically just talk to them like, hey, if you could ask a pastor anything, what would it be? And stepping into their world a little bit there. That's happening. Bren is still meeting and doing great things with our elementary kids at 3 o'clock.
Sundays at 3.
Sundays at 3.
So
that's on the Kids Crossing page. Please go join that if you have students or share that page with other people that you may know that's disconnected in that area.
And I'd say, because if you're not getting like e-blasts from us,
That's important.
please, one, either sign up. You go to the Crossing at BCC and sign up for a newsletter. It'll say that on there. 2, check your junk mail. Honestly, I've had a lot of people that have signed up and said, hey, I'm not getting them. It's not because we don't have your email. It's probably because it's going somewhere and it's getting flagged, going spam.
Yeah.
You've got to correct that on your end. Or you may think, hey, they never even use this. But no. Hey, we're glad that you joined us. Sorry for the technical stuff. Please, umbrella of grace for us today. We're definitely, for me, hopeful. I think every day, wherever it feels like we're a step closer and a little more optimistic on meeting again, whatever that looks like. And I have a feeling that the new normal is not going to be normal, whatever that is. And so thank you for your patience with this. We're excited to see what God does through this, even within our local body. And so thanks for being a part of this. And I would just say as we close, hey, as you watch online, invite people to watch with you. It's never been easier. Just say, hey, watch with me at 9 or 11. We've got the chat room going as well. And so invite people to be a part of what we're doing here at the Crossing at BCC. We thank you guys for joining us. Have a great week. We'll hope to see you on Sunday.